And here well, I can't hear you. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. This is weird. Oh. Oh, let's see. We got people coming in. I'm trying to get this audio fixed. We got 2 viewers. And I still can't hear you. You're not muted, are you? Oh, boy. For some reason I can't hear you. Oh. Can anybody hear Steve? Let me know. I'll let you talk. It says no sound on Steve. Can't hear Steve. And I thought it was me. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Yeah, they can hear me. They just can't hear you, Steve. Oh, wait. Well, he'll be back in a minute. Sorry for the technical difficulties. While we're waiting for Steve to come back, let me make sure that you guys can. We can't see who's talking. It says Facebook user. So if you, where is it?
How about now?
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
We're winning.
You can hear me. I don't know, man. That was weird because my AirPods here, I could hear everything you were saying. You just couldn't hear me. I don't know what the heck is going on, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you in my headset. I thought it was me. I was like, man, I know. Me and Brandon went through this the other night, and we double checked it.
I was fully comfortable blaming you.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so hold on real quick. I'm gonna get this thing showing real quick. We're gonna start this over since we just popped up, and we're gonna get. So here you go. All right. That's how we had to start it off. Welcome, everybody.
For real this time. Now we're serious.
It is 2024, and we are Legion Live is back.
Let's go.
I know that I feel good about it. I don't know. What about you, Steve?
I feel good about it, dude. You know, it's one of the few things I feel good about right now. My health
That's
not
good.
being one of them.
Yeah, I do want to say this. I'm going to be monitoring the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be giving away this Cast King Centron Light reel today.
Now hold on a second. Can I win that? What do I got to do?
Nobody from the Legion can win.
Damn it.
Yeah, nice 2000 size, smooth, and the handle collapses. So best question tonight. I guess we'll figure out who will win. You know what? I might give something else away. It depends on how I feel and how much interactions we get.
You only got a whole Bass Pro Shop over there.
Yeah, no, I'm still trying to get all the stuff situated. So, welcome everybody.
Well, I see Big Yacker in there. I saw Big Yacker in the comment section over there at Fish Talk, man.
Yeah,
they had an interesting stream over there, dude. I like what
I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, they can hear you now. All right.
No, that was not Steve. That was somebody else. What's up, Elmer?
Oh man, we got 34 people watching. Hello, everybody. Yes.
Okay,
you know what? I will make this
give.
Hey, the more people come in and the more interaction we get, I'll give more shit away.
Oh,
more stuff away. We want you to come and learn. We want to not be. We want to be different this year.
Yeah, throw it up in the chat, y'all. I got things I want to talk about, but there's something you want to talk about. Throw it up in the chat. I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious.
So, starting off, where do you want to start? Let's start off with the Elite Series.
Okay. If y'all haven't seen it yet, we have that announcement out there. We have locked down that location. Big shout out to Blackwater Adventures over there. We're going to be able to hold this on the Little Blackwater River, y'all. Now, it's tough. If you haven't tried to plan an event over there, if you're talking about anything more than 10 or 15 parking spots that you need, it's freaking tough. Like that real estate, ever since they put up those signs for no parking along the roadside and everything else, that stuff is tough, man. But hey, it's locked in now. And Rashawn's working all kinds of deals over there so that you won't have to do any kind of aqueduce operation out there. We got you taken care of, is what it comes down to. Logistics are covered.
So check this out. The launch, you're gonna have to pay $10 to launch.
Mhm.
Now it used to be it was 25, and they're working out with us. We already got the tournament already priced, so you're gonna have to pay $10 to launch. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. It used to be more than that, but we're just in the beginning phases of bringing back the Legion series, like way different. I mean, if you fished our tournaments last year, single launch, all this other stuff, it's gonna be good. Got a lot of good sponsors,
Yeah.
and if you fish and qualify for the championship, you have a chance to win a kayak. But you got to work with us. You got to understand what we're trying to do, and we're trying to make this flawless as possible. I will go over some stuff. I do have stickers for your bump board. So when you come to the launch, I know we're supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to start bringing this in your memory, so when you come to the launch, there should be no stickers on your board. We will give you a sticker, and that will show that your board is verified for that tournament. It will be every tournament you'll have a new sticker.
Hey, Rashawn,
what's up?
Real quick, Brandon wants to know if Blackwater Adventures, they got a hard launch for, like a big boat, like a bass boat, man.
No. I wish, but I do. I am working. We still got to iron out the rest of the details for the month long for boat and kayak, and then the regular boat and kayak tournament. I don't want to have too many tournaments because I don't want to be running all over the place trying to figure all this stuff, and it more likely, you'd be busy, Tom would be busy. I mean, yeah.
Hey, Butch, we're going to get you special Snakehead scented stickers, okay? It's not just stickers for you. These ones are going to be Snakehead scented, okay? We got you covered, man.
Steve, can you pull up some of the comments on the screen or no?
No, man, you're asking way too much of my capabilities. I'm on here via my phone right now. I got to get my life together. Jason, what'd you catch, dude? Jason said he was out on the water today. I'd like to hear what he caught.
Wow.
I totally missed the yellow perch run this year from being sick with flu B for like 3 weeks, and I'm not happy about it. I totally missed it, man. It looks like I got a pretty good spawn, though. There's a lot of egg sacs out there in the rivers from those yellows. Just hopefully all the runoff and all that crap didn't ruin the spawn, but I'm a little hurt, man. I didn't get to chase my perch at all.
Oh, Brandon's talking about arguing with me. All right, so I'm trying to watch these comments and stuff. It's a lot.
I'll try to highlight a few.
It's a lot. If you see it, just bring it up, and I'll try to bring it up.
Okay.
Because I want to go over this tournament stuff quick and stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Big Fisher.
Well, if anyone's wondering, I guess, hold on. Let's all stop. Let's all stop and take a minute and recognize who we're talking to, because we're talking to a master angler over here.
It's not a big deal. I just wanted to catch fish before you.
Well, speaking of catching fish before me, it looks like Travis down there in VA got his first dragon of the year. I ain't done that yet, man. I haven't been fishing at all. I've been trying to survive.
Where is that at?
But that's good stuff, dude.
All right.
But yeah, I've caught snakehead this year. That video should drop tomorrow, but I ain't caught a dragon yet this year. I'm slacking, bro. I'm slacking. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story on snakehead, the lure bite has started, and honestly, from what I've seen, maybe this is because, all the live bait fishermen haven't really gotten to the game yet. But the one time I've been out for them, lures outperformed the freaking minnows, man. So I
I
mean,
told you.
us having a tournament in April in Blackwater, that bite should be fire. Like unless they roll into the spawn too quickly, that bite should just be straight up fire. That pre-spawn should be just insane out there.
So yeah, so I mean that's what it is. I mean, hopefully the bump boards maybe be in here by that time. Just to let y'all know, I know everybody's been asking me. Everything is paid. It's with Catch, and Catch is making them. The longest part is getting them anodized. So, and it's over. It's about almost 300 boards. So we did really good. So I appreciate everybody else for the help with that. Get this going. And I think I have 3 open spots left. So somebody said I'm in the house. I don't know.
3 open spots. You mean 3 available boards? Is that what you
No,
mean?
I'm at 7 because 3 people jumped on it. I do have because remember that whole situation with the other shop. They didn't get it. So I had a situation with the shop that they didn't get it. I didn't reach back out to me. So I covered down on the board. So either way, I have extra boards. So, and there's a lot of people that's gonna have them. So if you miss them, then yeah.
Brandon, don't encourage China Argus, man. Don't pay attention to what he says.
So Byron said, "I want to catch my first snakehead." Well, are we still going by snakehead, or are we going by Chesapeake China?
Oh Jesus! Oh God! I'm going with snakehead. I'm only going to use China when I'm making jokes, man.
Let's just call it China Argus.
Little jokey time.
So Byron, I mean,
maybe early April. What do we have going on in like mid-April, man?
I don't know.
Maybe we can pull off a meetup or something like that. What do you think, man?
We could
try. We could try to do like now. If we do a meetup for Snakehead in April, I'm almost certainly going to be on the Eastern Shore. That's the most reliable place I could possibly take folks to catch them. That's a little early in the year for some place like Mariner Point or Gunpowder or something like that. I'm sorry, laughing at comments, man.
Oh yeah, I see. There's so many of them.
Yeah, man. Josh Bandy, what's up, dude? Hey, thanks, man. It's been an interesting birthday. I ain't gonna lie, but I got my pumpkin cheesecake, so I'm gonna take the W.
All right, Brandon. Not Brandon. Brandon's talking shit about me. Yeah, Damon, I got you. I'll hit you up later.
I'm telling you, folks, it's like if I had more time, I would love to meet y'all up a lot more and take y'all out. But in this chat, we got two arguably the best snakehead guides out there. I got balloons now, yeah. But we got in the chat here, we have Lowland Outfitters and we got American. Butch,
real all-American fishing.
Punish me later for stuttering through that. Real
AKA
American Fishing Ventures,
AKA Cartman.
Yep. But yeah, we got 2 straight up snakehead guides here in the chat right now on the Eastern Shore. Who will put you on fish? I personally trained Butch. I can vouch for him. Yeah, if we can do a meetup mid-April. I can't commit to it right now. I just got too much going on. I'm almost over being sick right now. Almost. But Byron, we got you in mind, man. We got you in mind. We just got to get it on the calendar and make it happen.
Yeah. So anything else we need to touch on the tournament? I kind of want to stay within the script. So I want
to. I'll give you all a quick tip for the tournament, and that'll just keep an eye on the weather. If you can, keep an eye on water temperature. Electronics for snakehead, I don't think are a necessity, but it is at least nice to have when you're talking about measuring water temperature, because that magic temp you're looking for kind of a reliable lure bite is going to be right around 50, and we're already there. Now that can change, so keep an eye on stuff, but we're already there. Okay, so subsurface lures, your chatterbaits, bullseye spinner baits, spinner baits in general, inline spinners. Those could be the lures I recommend to you. But by late April, depending on the weather, it could be a totally fire frog bite. Late April is a time period in Blackwater where I've caught 30, 40 snakehead in a day on top. So, I'm telling you, it could be a real freaking fire bite out there. So that's just a tip in terms of what kind of lures I expect to be working best for that kind of tournament period. Aside from that, once we get down there, last thing I'll say on it is just going to be clean up after yourselves, okay? And I don't think it'll be a problem for anyone who follows the Legion because that's what we're about. But just a note out there, because a lot of the reason stuff got shut down out there and parking got limited is because folks didn't take care of it. So that's all I got, dude. Go to Fishing Chaos for all the details on check-in times, location, launch time, all that stuff. Oh, my baby's in the stream. Uh-oh. What's up, baby? Okay, I'm good, bro. Take us away.
All right. So we went over the boards. So we can only use the yak stick and the catch boards. So whatever, if you use a catch board that's 16 inches, that's what you're limited to. Can't help you with that. So that's the only there's no more Frey bill. Frey bill is done. And that's even for VKE. So it's catch, it's catch in the yak stick, the trifold. And eventually, if everything goes together, it will be just catch. So we're trying to make it as professional as possible and competitive, but still have fun, but competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if you fish any other species out there, I think catch is probably, if not the most widely accepted, one of the most widely accepted boards out there. And that's because they build them to make sure that there is no wiggle room in there for flex or any other kind of cheating in there. Yeah. And that anodized aluminum, easy to read. That's one more reason tournament directors love it. Straight up.
Hey, so also when you don't have boards as well, like if you didn't get missed out on a board, tell your friends. Mike Hill will have boards. Drave USA will have boards, and because we're trying to expand to Florida tournaments as well, but baby steps.
Well, if you're out there and you see Mike Hill and you at all care in any way, shape, or form about Snakehead, you better go shake that dude's hand, man. Because I'm telling you, there were a few guys out there, him, Mike Chin, who were straight up soldiers in the movement to make this 40-inch catch board happen for the first time ever. And that's kind of like the Snakehead board, in my opinion, because of that size.
So let's go back into, I'll tell you who did it. Well, it first started off with DPS.
Yeah,
DPS was like they're going to cover as much as they can. They sponsored the Legion. Mike Hill.
Yep.
Mike Chin.
Mm-hmm.
Drave USA.
Yep.
They bought 50. Mike Hill bought 40. So, and it's 50 down in Mike Chin. So it's a lot of boards. And then I got a lot myself. So we just try to make sure it happens so you guys can have something to not have to worry about fall apart or break. Because I had a board one time and this guy on the stream with me, he broke it. So
I catch fish that are too big for Sean's weekend. No boards, man. So I don't know what to say about that.
No, his fish was only 12 inches and he broke it.
that ain't the fish.
All right. So we're done with tournaments. We'll go back. Oh, I won. Somebody said I won the prize for Fish Talk magazine.
Oh,
the hell!
You see that? You left the stream too early.
I was on, but I was trying to get ready for this live.
Oh, did you win the amped up shirt? Is that what happened? Because they were donating over there.
Oh, well, I guess I fish with amped up all the time for carp.
Yep.
All right. So, going on from the tournament stuff, we do have. Well, this is not the merch. This is mine, but we have I posted in the Legion that we're going to be doing shirts. I have a shirt order coming. I already paid some of it. Once it's done, I'll get the rest and I'll put it out there. I want it. Once I'll let you know, and then we'll go from there. So I have like 3 pre-orders already. So, and I'm trying to think what else go into. See, because I was looking at your notes and you was like, we're talking about tournaments.
I can run with it for a minute. I got some stuff to say.
Go ahead.
All right. So, quick report. You can check it out on Maryland DNR. They always got their weekly report out there. Perch is the name of the game right now, but that perch run is going fast this year. that perch run is going fast this year. And maybe it feels like that to me because I have hardly been able to fish. But the yellows are pretty much wrapped up. They're going to be moving out. The whites are already in. And I'm hoping the big whites are going to be in this weekend. And so I can be out there in 25-mile-an-hour winds, hopefully be getting blown the hell around. But, conditions are conditions. When you can fish is when you can fish. Aside from that, you may have seen it. I went out with my son the other day, and that was on a Western Shore river. It's as specific as I'll get right there. But out there, the pre-spawn bass bite was insane. We found them in a south-facing cove, and within that cove, the back center, roughly 10 to 20% of that cove was about 2 to 4 degrees warmer than everything else. And like every bass in the entire river was in that cove. Like me and my son, we caught over 40 in the course of about 3 hours. My buddy Jared, who was with us, I think caught around 15 or 20, including a 6.5 and a 6.4. My son caught his PB, which was right around a 4-pounder. And, the cold, dark times are finally coming to an end. It's like there's fish you can chase in winter, but I do that as a survival mechanism, man. The warm water species are starting to come out. The spring spawns are happening. It's a wonderful time. Dark mud versus light color mud. I mean, that's a good tip, man. So I've gone on the spiel before, so I'm going to make it really short, okay? Oh, hey, shout out to Drave real quick, like Rashawn just said. Another soldier in the movement to make those boards happen for the snakehead community, straight up. Now, dark mud versus light mud. Dark attracts more sunlight, and as long as the sun's able to penetrate, the water's not too cloudy, it's going to warm up fastest there. So if you can find it, you got a good chance of finding that warmer water. Find the wind shielded areas, and that's pretty much it, man. Those are my tips. If you can find those kind of conditions and the terrain structure, you're going to do well out there. I think that's a kind of a brief fishing report. Like I said before, Fish Talk did a great segment this evening on striped bass, some of the bills that are up for debate right now. I think I'm still going to do my breakdown of the different studies that have been done on catch and release striped bass fishing and get into a little bit more of the details about how those studies were done and what the results of those studies were, because there is an effort right now to try to shut down the spring trophy catch and release season for striped bass. I'm not going to comment on the motivations of those involved. But the bottom line is, as long as your water temps are about 59, 57 degrees or lower, you're talking about a less than 1% or maybe just over 1% mortality rate. So as long as you're doing it right, handling the fish right, and go check Fish Talk magazine again. They had a great demonstration for how to handle those really big fish. As long as you're doing it right, catch and release is not the issue. And let me check my language here. No fishery in the history of mankind has ever been ruined by catch and release fishing. Period. Full stop. Catch and release is not the issue with the striped bass fishery. And I'll leave it at that. I'll save it more for more of my videos down the line. All right. Oh, yeah. I guess that's one. You want to let them know that the issue is resolved on Fishing Chaos for veterans, first responders? Oh, we can't hear you, bro. Did you mute yourself?
Sorry, Thor was over here acting stupid. You just said it.
I kind of did just say it, didn't I? So
yeah,
there was some issue, and Tommy Tech, being Tommy Tech, is the one who chased it down and resolved it. But when it comes to signing up for the club within, Legion of Anglers Elite to be able to participate in the series, veterans, first responders, your membership is free. Okay, and there was an issue where that was somehow expired within the Fishing Chaos app. That issue has been resolved. You're good to go.
So there you go.
What's Jason got right here? You ever try to measure a fish over 40 on a yak and try to get a pick? It's not that easy. Yeah, for real, dude. I've done it with catfish, but not stripers yet. And it is, and that was in my old 10.5-foot sit-in, trying to take pictures of like 43, 44-inch flathead catfish, man. And you got to lean to one side, but reach your hand over the other side of the kayak and try to counterweight yourself to pull the fish up so you're not just flipping over.
I didn't know you caught fish that big. I always thought you caught the snakehead and
Yes, you
perch.
did because you were the one who wanted me to lay down and take suggestive pictures with that big blue cat on the
And
side
you
of the
did,
road.
and you was smiling. But anyway,
Yeah,
real quick,
we're
I just want to go over this
gonna.
real quick because I missed it before we move
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Here are the current sponsors for the tournament. You got,
Mm-hmm.
we are a kayak KBF fishing partner. That helps
Thank you,
cover
each and every one.
that helps us cover our insurance. Delaware Paddle Sports is the main title sponsor for it,
Mm.
and we just picked up Cast King. Cast King is another big sponsor. Drave USA, another big sponsor. Look what we got. No Live Bait. Everybody didn't expect that coming. Action Hat, Nakwa. You can't forget American Snakehead Customs.
Yep. I
We got
don't.
Edgemere Bait and Tackle. We got apparel from Bay Life. And then when you get there, we got Drink More Water donating water. So we'll have that. Spectra just came on. And then you have Cambo, myself, Tommy Tech, and Ty Cobb. Be quiet, dog. So,
So
yeah.
Adam asked if he's allowed to ask questions. Send them, bro. Send them.
Yeah, I would hope y'all to ask questions because you can get this nice little reel.
Oh,
And
and Brandon said he wants that Skyline hoodie. I'm guessing he's talking about that Baltimore Skyline Snakehead hoodie, man.
yeah, just hit me up, Brandon. I'll get one made for you. You gotta give me a size, and I'll tell you how much it is. If y'all want one,
Do you have one handy, bro? Or the logo?
the logo.
Is
You
it?
talking
Oh,
about
it
this?
is right. It is right there. So you can
Yeah,
see it better on the white and black when you're wearing the white and black. At least for
yeah.
me.
I did this one is my veterans camo. We, what I'm saying, olive drab stuff. So if you want one, hit me up. I'll get you one because you can see the one I got on my hat. So
Yeah. China Argus trying to get me in trouble. He's asking me where all the bass have gone. The snakehead ate them all, man. That's why we caught 40 of them in that prime snakehead water. Well, I guess collectively we caught closer to 65 or 70. God,
nipples.
it was crazy out there.
What the hell is he talking about? I got nipples.
Nipples.
Oh, I don't
Does
know.
Rashawn? What? Hold on. What? Why do all the frogs design it?
He said that last time. I was like, what do I? And then it was too late.
Because all embryos start as female. Okay. Biology lesson. Here we go.
All right. We got a question. Oh, that's Wes talking about that.
Waterton's 54 down there. Yeah. Yeah. Was that Wes? Yeah.
Yeah. Wes
Travis Antolioni. The only reason I know how to pronounce your last name, bro, in that Italian style is because of Giuseppe down there.
All right.
But yeah,
So
he caught a dragon down there, Wes. That's why I brought his name up.
Oh.
He posted it earlier in the chat.
All right. So when you're a first responder and a veteran, so we are going off the honor system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what. If you act like you a vet or a first responder, you might. It's gonna be a bad day. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. You're gonna be known, and it ain't gonna be. I'm just gonna not let you fish anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the other people might feel some kind of way about that situation. You know what I mean? Because you know how you get those guys in the corner and be like, "I was a vet," and they never was a vet. So I'm just letting you know. If you fishing a tournament and you see some big person in a boat throw you out in the water, I'm not gonna mention no names.
Right. It's a bold move, Cotton, and I wouldn't want to see how it's going to work out for him.
We're trying to us being in the military and first responders, we're supposed to have integrity. So that's why it is like that.
I don't get fired up about too much. Stolen valor, that'll kind of get me, man. That'll kind of get me. I'm pretty easygoing most of the time, man.
All right, hold on a second. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with these damn questions so I can send off.
Adam says the areola frog. Get the hell out of here.
I can't, man.
Go for it. Lean in, bro. Cambo braid. Yeah, dude. I'd like to get into that, man. I like that idea.
Let's start with that.
Yep.
I've been a real big fan of Berkeley X9 and X5 for a long time.
And I've genuinely used what you've clued me into. I just want to say
we haven't had I haven't had any failures like I had with Power Pro. Now, that's just my opinion. You don't have to everybody else say it's
I know some guys love Power Pro, man.
I've really gotten to this Cast King 13X finesse, and I see Brandon and the Alpha 9. I really like it a lot. I've been using it. I've been testing it out. I haven't caught a fish on it yet because it just came out, and I've been using it, and it fly. I mean, I cast with it, but I haven't caught a fish on it, and it flies. So, what are you laughing at, Steve?
I'm laughing at Brandon giving you crap, man.
Oh, I ain't worried about Brandon.
There's a good question. There's a good question.
There you go. What is the?
You go ahead. Then. You want to go ahead? You want me to it?
Well, I'm going to say
I have strong feelings. Go ahead.
I've got them up on 20 pounds, depending on what line it is. Now, Steve would tell you this story when we took him to this one spot.
Yep.
He was getting broke off on 20 pounds.
Yep. And that's why I don't use it no more.
Yeah. So I would say 30, 40, 50. If you're depending on the cover, you could go up to 65. I mean,
yep. I mean, I know guys who love a challenge who swear by like 10, 15 pound test. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm saying it's structure dependent. If you're in open water and you're not dealing with a lot of structure, you can easily get away with 10, 15, 20 pound tests for snakehead. And even with putting on almost locking down your drag and, driving that hook set home. The issue comes in when you start fishing heavy cover. And that's what I discovered because I fished blackwater for years with 20 pound tests, and I might have broken off on a fish just once. But once you start fishing, especially the really heavy hydrilla, that's when I recommend you have at least 40, because I broke off, and the thing is, I was breaking off Lily Ninja mice, and if you know what the Lily Ninja mouse is, they're discontinued. Okay, so breaking off any one of those hurts because you literally can't replace them anymore unless you can find some like stockpile someone has they're willing to sell. That's when I switched to 40 pound test, is when I started fishing heavy hydrilla, because at that point you're fighting potentially a 10 or 15 pound fish plus 10 or 15 pounds of grass. And that's when you really need that heavy line. The same kind of thing goes for the pad fields, but I feel like even the pad fields, it's not as much constant weight as it is when you're dealing with really heavy hydrilla. So if you're around heavy hydrilla, I would say a minimum of 40. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure Jared, if he hasn't said it yet, or China Argus is in there, it's there's different knots you can tie to. You have the Palomars, kind of a standard. And the snakehead community, what a lot of guys like to use, and shout out to Giuseppe Muscat down there, our VKAE brother, who taught us the Bangkok hooker twist knot. And Rashawn and I have talked about it. I think next time we do one of these, we're going to have the line ready and show y'all how to tie one live. That knot right there, I think, is great for the heaviest to cover, man.
So here,
but yeah, Brandon, RIP to the Ninja. Yeah, it's like, and people have asked me, is like, what, like, have y'all tried to contact, Savage to see if they'll restart the line? But Rashawn's working on it, y'all. Rashawn's working then he's working on a revamp too. That's going to be a different version, different action. So keep an ear and an eye out for that, because I think that's one of the worst decisions that Savage Gear ever made, was discontinuing that Elite Ninja mouse. I can't. Oh, hey, we got a gear question, bro, from 3F Fishing. It says, have you tried Veribos, and how's Cast King compare? You see it on there, 3F?
Hold on, man. I got all the Brandon and Adam talking junk, and I'm missing all these people.
That mouse has nipples.
I'm trying, man. Oh, there we go. This one?
Oh, God. Huh?
Yeah,
that's the one, dude. Yep.
I haven't tried the Varus. I had never tried it. I
haven't either. He won't show the belly. Show him the belly of the mouse, bro. Dispel the nipple myth. Those are arms, Adam. Those are arms.
Yeah, I never tried it. Adam said 50-pound grand Dre rig 8.
And Jason's got a good comment in there too. The J braid. Yeah, I got J braid on right now at Adam's recommendation, and I've enjoyed it, man. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about it. It's been working well. Huge nips. I can't.
I'm trying to get your guys' the good questions. Like, all right, so
okay, go ahead.
I've caught them on 1,000, but it depends on the reel. You know what I mean? I've got them on my Cast King 1000 BFS spinning reel,
Hmm.
and I mean, I'm not gonna. You can be biased or whatever, but whatever brand you like, just it should work. It shouldn't have any problems. I
I,
hope.
I I got one point to add there, real quick.
So
So the size reel and the drag is also like what size reel you need and what like pounds of drags that you actually need is also going to be determined by the lure you're using, because it takes a different amount of hook set power to set the hook on, something like a Meps or a swim bait compared to a topwater frog. So a topwater frog, you're dealing with, two hooks instead of one. And generally speaking, there's some models out there that use single hooks. But I generally have rolled with 2000 series. I've used three. I even had a 4000 series. It was overkill. You don't need a four, in my opinion. I think a two or three is great. Going lower, I think you're going into the challenge zone, or you're using some like smaller type hooks. And honestly, there's a level of wire strength in hooks that I won't go below for snakehead, because when they do that death roll, I've seen them bend some pretty serious hooks, especially the really big snakehead. You're talking about a 15-pound plus snakehead, they'll straight up snap frog hooks. And we got some buddies on the team who, and just out there in the community in general, who have some horror stories about fish that they lost that were just absolutely enormous because they bent out the hook or broke the hook. So if you're picking up a snakehead lure and it's got light wire hooks, I would put it back down, because you're asking for heartbreak down the road, man. AK-47 nipples. Jesus, what are we doing? What are we doing tonight? I can't. Yeah,
uh,
see a couple comments in there. 3K and lock down that drag. Yeah, I think that's pretty legit, fellas. Especially if you're in that heavy cover.
well, it depends. The 4000 series size reel depends on what reel you have that's lighter,
Yeah.
because that makes a difference too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's some nuance in there.
all
I
right, let's
just started
see.
using bait casters. Dude, Simon, I only started using bait casters. I probably blame Rashawn for that. And I think I've only been using bait casters for what, 2 years, maybe 3 years now, bro? Does that sound
Yeah,
right?
I think so. And
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my spinning gear, obviously, and I still use it. But straight up, I think bait casters are more fun to use. Maybe it's because you have to keep your hands more engaged, doing a little bit more than you do have to do with a spinning reel. I know China Argus is out there rolling his eyes because he uses spinning gear exclusively all the time, pretty much without issue. But I do enjoy the bait casters more, man. I think they're more fun to throw.
Uh, there's a question. There's a good question. We didn't say nothing about
What's that?
Butch's question.
Oh, I just saw it pop up. Okay. Early season, as temps rise when they push shallow target structure up. Yep. Yep. Now, Butch is absolutely correct. And again, you're looking for a guide. Hit Butch up, hit Damien up. One thing I will add, though, is that in those south-facing coves on mud flats early in the season, you can also find them in kind of an almost like an open water pattern. And that's when I'm throwing the MEPs, like fan casting, or that's when I'm fan casting that Z-Man bullseye spinner bait is one of my go-tos.
I wonder who
I'm
told
looking
you that.
I'm looking for something with flash, vibration, and something I can slow roll, because that water's still pretty cold. I'm not trying to burn a bait, but yeah, they are going to go and start heading up shallow. And relating to timber, like early in the season, you don't have a lot of grass, generally speaking. That's when I'm looking for timber. So yeah, that's a good point, Butch. When will the links to the other? So there's a tournament question in there, bro. You see that from Big Yacker?
No, I probably missed it. I can't keep up with. Oh,
Oh, hey, Brandon, that's a good point, man. I'll highlight that real quick. He said that's why I use American Snakehead Custom. Unlike a lot of the other lures out there, American Snakehead Custom, and there's some other snakehead brands out there. You got Tactical, you got a bunch of others out there. And of course, Infamous Fishing, right? We're talking here. But those hooks are designed by snakehead anglers for snakehead. So you can catch snakehead on bass gear, straight up. But those hooks and that heavy wire, that's used with snakehead in mind, because those guys who make those lures for the snakehead community know the punishment that snakehead can really put on that gear. Now, yeah, and Big Yacker was asking when will the links to the other tournaments in the series be available? They should be available now.
Yeah, I don't know why they're
Like
not available.
check out the events page on Legion of Anglers on Facebook. Each of those should have its link to this corresponding tournament. And if you find any issues with that, please let us know and we'll get it corrected quickly. But those links should all be up, dude. They should all be up on Fishing Chaos and on Facebook events for Legion of Anglers page, which will point you to Fishing Chaos because that's where it's all actually done.
So I'm trying to figure out. That's something we need to get with. But Duke from Catch is trying to. He's gonna give away boards, but we got to do a month-long tournament. I mean, it's not gonna be.
Oh yeah,
it's nothing really.
Tell about it.
It's nothing really crazy, but there's a kayak division and there's a boat division. So
Brandon, say it again for Brandon. Say it again.
Boat division. Boats and hoes. But yeah, so I gotta iron the details out and get that set up. And I know we talked about the team stuff. I am gonna do the 3-on-3. Mm-hmm. It's not 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Mm-hmm. So once we iron the details, I gotta get past the first tournament before I can do anything else. But your support and everything will help us get stuff going. So what else is there? I'm trying to think out what else we got. I don't. Some of these people asking. I'm trying to get these questions up here so I can.
But Ibrahim's got one there. You see Ibrahim's?
No, because people. Here, let me put this up there. Ibrahim, where's it at?
It's just below one or two below that one, maybe. Well, yeah. While you're looking for it, I'll tell people what it was. So it said, "How does using the bait casting reels change your accuracy or getting back to your target more efficiently?" I think it comes down to first tuning in your bait caster. That's step one. We have a video about how to do that on the Legion of Anglers page. And if you're not tuning your bait caster, I'm almost certain you're gonna freaking hate using bait casters, okay? Because we had like a meetup. I want to say if it wasn't last year, it was the year before. I feel like it might have been earlier last year, where we all went out to Dundee Creek, I think it was. And at the end of that day, someone was saying, I got this bait caster. I can only cast like 18 feet and I backlash every time. So what we did at the end of the meetup is Rashawn went over there, the maestro, who taught me how to tune bait casters. And he had tuned this guy's reel in within about 5 minutes. And the guy went from casting, like I said, 18 feet and backlashing every time to casting like 50, 60 feet and no issues at all. And Adam just put a great comment in there too, that it quickly summarizes how to tune a bait caster. But he's absolutely right. I mean, Rashawn, why don't you run through real quick, man? How to tune a bait caster?
Oh,
I mean, you can talk. You can show him. Yeah, go ahead.
I normally for me tuning a bait caster, I use the tension knob to make sure that there's no play when it goes back and forth. And once you get it to
now, hold on a second. When he says no play, he means the spool.
I'm about to show you. So okay. I do it to the point where it's barely any play at all. So that's tight. And then all my adjustments will come. You want them to come from here. But what you're doing is you're pressing the button down, and then you're gonna let the lure fall to the ground. So it's gonna fall to the ground, but you don't want it when it falls to the ground, the line to pop up. You want it to fall slowly and whatever speed you want it to fall and hit and not pop up line. And then from there, you will cast it. Now, if you got it right, when you cast it, you're just going to change from, hold on, where is minimum? Minimum break would be here. And then max, sometimes I'll leave all my reels like this. And as you get better, you can increase it and you'll learn the thumb method really good, and it'll get you farther cast because this will actually fly farther than spinning reels if you get it right.
You get it right. Yep.
Yeah. I'll try to do another video on
it. Freaking Brandon, man. You're killing me, bro.
What the hell?
He said, no one ever made a song about kayaks and hose, so there's that.
So I mean, we'll try to do a video on. I'll try to do another video on that. I like the bait casting, and well, can you tuna fish? Yeah. Get me on the boat. That's another fish I need to get off my list. Tuna.
The tuna, yeah.
Yep. So, what else is there? So,
what was it? Start by using tension. Yep.
Yeah.
Jason said, start by loosening your tension on the first cast and cast as hard as you can. Yeah, you'll have a good time. It's a good way to go.
Good luck with that. Hey, but we do the besides Snakehead, like you said, we got the little bit perch run.
Yeah,
that's here. That's Steve's best fish. He loves perch and littler fish.
I do love my perch.
I have been talking to Jason Kowski about catching big bluegills because I don't have a big bluegill, not up here.
I mean, in Maryland, I feel like big bluegill are honestly in more of a danger of that spot getting burned than like even big crappie. Because like anyone who go out there with crappie fishes who knows where the big crappie are knows that you don't want to tell anyone. Because crappie are a fish that if the general fishing public finds them, then the crowd who likes to fill a stringer is going to find it and fish that place out. But I think bluegills get it even worse, honestly, man. Like big bluegills, that's tough. That's tough to find in Maryland. You can find them over like Beaver Dam, like Beaver Dam. Is it called Reservoir? Beaver Dam Park? You know what I'm talking about? You ever been there, dude?
No, I don't.
No, you never been to Beaver Dam, man?
I might have.
It's a quarry. It's an old quarry that's also like a swimming park. I haven't been there in years upon years, but it's beautiful, super deep. But I mean, you can't fish it, so you got like massive bluegills swimming around in there. Just schools on schools of them all around you. Same thing with they got giant bass in there. Good God, if I could fish that place. Oh my God. Let's see. China Argus. When will snakehead start the spring push, and how long will they remain in heated mud flats? That's a great question. So maybe we can do this kind of thing, y'all. Most of the fishery science out there dedicated to snakehead is more so dedicated to their control than it is, dedicated to their management. So collectively, this is something we could start on Legion of Anglers, is starting like kind of a log report. And I know everyone doesn't want to share all their info and condition reports and all that because, at the end of the day, we're going to be in tournaments eventually. And, you want to keep some close hold with your best kept secrets. But maybe what we could do is, we all can't make it on the water. Most of us are weekend fishermen at best. It would be great to have some kind of water temperature readings on these catch logs and then look at the movement of snakehead, especially in areas like Conowingo. Because Conowingo is probably one of the best places for us to keep an eye on that spring push and water temperatures, because the dam being as huge as it is, that's a huge choke point for snakehead. And I know they congregate. It's not a big secret. I'm not burning anything here, but they all congregate there. But really, I don't confidently know the answer to that question about when they'll stop hanging out on mudflats and do a spring push. I think in some environments they kind of stay on the mudflats, honestly. But in those rivers and creeks that have that dam upstream, we've seen them congregate there. I think most of us have. So we know it happens. I think, honestly, all of us together need to take more like measurements and record that kind of stuff in kind of a fishing log or a journal. And then we can share with each other and learn more about the species that way. Kind of like a little fisherman citizen science type stuff, man.
Sorry, I'm looking at stuff to show, but I don't know.
Let's see. T-Rexes eat them all. It was a crappy bite is good now in VA. Oh, I know it is, Jackson. I've been seeing you catch them, bro. Filling stringers, man. I wish, bro.
Yeah, him, Joel, and Elmer.
Yup. I mean, the Rappahannock. Jesus, if I lived in Virginia, I'm not sure I'd fish anywhere but the Rappahannock.
Shit. If I lived in Virginia, I would never fish anywhere else but Virginia Beach.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't caught my red yet, so it's like I haven't developed that addiction yet. But I mean, they might have reds on the outer reaches of the Rap for all I know. I know they have cobia, but the Rap is just silly. Like in the headwaters, you have trout. Lower down, it turns into smallies and largemouth. And then snakehead are now in the mix. You have shad runs, you have striper runs. A little farther down the net, you have trophy blue cats. I think there's flatheads in there now too, although I don't think their numbers are up yet. But you go down farther than that, and you have all the salt species. That is one hell of a river. One hell of a river, man.
Let's see what else. I'm looking at these questions. So yeah, we know we got the. So if you guys didn't watch the Fish Talk magazine's cast, they were talking about striper.
Yeah,
man. What is y'all opinions on striper?
Oh boy, should I leave that off? I don't know. Dude,
I had wanted to do a tournament for striper, like a catch and release tournament, but I it's a touchy feely thing, so it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's so okay. Here's the state of the striped bass fishery, in my opinion. And it's something I read into fairly often. Just this past year, they had one of the worst, if not the worst, reports on young of year surveys up in the Hudson. The young of year surveys here in the Chesapeake have been bad for a while, well below sustainability levels for the striped bass stock. And there's a lot of factors that go into what's hurting striped bass. You have the menhaden reduction fleet, omega protein pulling all of the menhaden, otherwise known as bunker, out of the Chesapeake mouth, the mouth of Chesapeake. You have pollution and degradation of the spawning grounds for the striped bass. You have commercial netters, and not just netters for striped bass, but they also get caught as bycatch in all the other nets they have out there, be it for menhaden or white perch or yellow perch or whatever else they're netting. And then you have a lot of poaching too out there for striped bass, and that's usually the smaller variety. And then you have folks who just, they still want to keep those big breeder fish, even when the stock is in significant decline. So I'll make this point real quick because people raise it, and I've commented, I put it in one of my videos before. This winter, we had a great trophy striped bass season. People were out there boating some big, big fish, and a lot of them. And people look at that and they're saying, what the hell? How is there a problem with the striped bass stock right now when we're catching all these fish? Because those fish were not born recently. Those are older fish. Those fish are a result of good spawns that happened many years ago. They're an indication of good spawn many years ago. The problem we have is that our most recent spawns, stretching back, I think 5 to 8 years or so, have been well below sustainability levels. And if we don't do something like protect those big fish who lay orders of magnitude more eggs than do the smaller striped bass that are spawning, then we're looking at another moratorium at best. It is possible to actually completely collapse a fishery. That's possible. We've done it. Like we've done it with Atlantic cod. Like we've done it before in history. So it's like we're making changes. These changes, I hope they're not too late. We might still have a moratorium. We'll see. Now, you want to put up Michael Hill's comment? He just commented on that.
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to do it now.
I see you, Simon, trying to challenge us. Yeah, so Mike says, shut stripers down for 2 to 3 years, reevaluate and adjust. Regulate and enforce commercial. Yeah, because exactly. Thus far, the commercial fishery has only taken a 7% cut, while the recreational and charter has taken a much larger cut. Hope the fishery comes back. None of that's going to happen. I don't discount your pessimism, man. I will say this. It seems like the new leadership at Maryland DNR is getting their priorities better in line. And I hate to say that out loud, and hopefully things don't change, but I've heard from others. I've seen some of it for myself. I do think more so recently they're trying to do the right thing. And you probably noticed lately, Maryland DNR is pushing blue cats a lot more. And like us from the snakehead community have been saying it for years. And people, some folks are just saying we're trying to blame shift. No. Think about this. What's the bigger threat? Look at their characteristics. Snakeheads exist almost exclusively in shallow water. Blue cats occupy every level of the water column. You can catch them trolling for striper, bottom fishing. You can bow shoot them in the shallows. They go everywhere. Maximum size for a snakehead on average, about 10 to 15 pounds. That's a big specimen. Maximum size for a blue cat, 50 to 100 pounds, depending on where you are. Snakehead are opportunistic feeders, right? They're primarily fish, but eat some terrestrials, crayfish, stuff like that. Blue cats are omnivorous and voracious, which is why they have those huge guts. They eat underwater vegetation, they eat mollusks, they eat clams, they eat blue crabs, they eat fish, they eat wood ducks, they eat anything they can get their mouths on, and they reproduce like rabbits, and they occupy the whole water column. And I'm really happy to see, and don't get me wrong, Maryland DNR is not waving the flag and saying there's no problem with snakehead. I'm not saying that. And even I don't think I would say that. But they are focusing a lot more on blue cats because I think it's finally coming home mentally to roost for people that blue cats are going to be our big problem. Aside from our impact as humans, blue cats are going to be our big problem. Because I mean, they love eating eggs too. Like snakehead aren't going around eating fish eggs. Blue cats love eating fish eggs.
They love when you cast with the bell closed.
I have an intruder.
Always cast with the bell closed.
Always, Adrian says, always cast with the bail closed. It makes life more interesting. I can't, man.
Oh man, yeah. So, yeah. Well, this is kind of I don't know how well I would put this in either way. All I gotta say is people from other countries and stuff, they fish different than everybody else, and they overtake a lot of fish. I mean, they take a lot of fish of every different sizes, and it hurts a lot for certain areas. And I noticed that a lot for even lower dam. There used to be rockfish, a lot of pickerel, ton of bluegills.
Oh my god, bro!
Now it's people. It's messed up, and I'm gonna say it because they're either keeping the minnows, well, they're not minnows. I'm just calling. They're small, and they're cast netting and taking them all in there. So if
there's just
that's
no
the
respect,
problem,
man. That there's just no respect for the impact that we can have. It's like people like to treat it like an exhaustible resource, or like it's someone else's, or an inexhaustible resource, and like it's someone else's problem, and it's a damn shame. It's yeah. What do we got? My dog and Steve started explaining it. We got right this time. Honestly, agree with the previous follower's thought process. Crazy thought about snakehead. Could FFS use deeper water and be a holding area for them? FFS.
fish finder.
Is it fish finder?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm trying to make sure that I'm understanding. Is he asking if we can use fish finders to locate snakehead in deeper water? Is that what he's asking?
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
So,
yeah, I have. I think me and Brandon,
yes.
Me and Brandon had talked about it. So me and Brandon had talked about this because he fishes down in Mattawamma too. We're catching. I had fishing one day. I was fishing the ledge, and I was picking up bass, and then I was picking up something else, and it was a bunch of snakehead, and I was catching them on chatterbait. I thought it were blue cats at first, but it was a bunch of snakeheads sitting on the ledge. So they came up on the fish finder. So I mean, it's kind of hard in shallows when you got all that disturbance in it, but on ledges and stuff like that, it'll work. I don't know. What you think, Steve?
Yeah, I really think.
He said forward facing sonar. Oh shit, yeah. So it's the same thing. You can pick them up on that. You can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the answer is yes.
It's still the same thing. Fish finder.
You can use it forward facing. Find them forward facing. You can use them. Find them side scan. It really comes down to the water you're fishing in. And so maybe someone can educate me here because I don't consider myself an electronics expert. But the one place that I found electronics to be almost useless is in waters with pad fields, because when I try to use any type of side scan out there, it's like all the pads, if they're underwater, they look like they have a similar profile to the side of a fish. It's like I'm trying to find a needle in a haystack at that point. But if you're in more open or deeper water, like when I was fishing down on the Rap, I think it was the second tournament in the VKE trail, I caught like one after another snakehead off this point. And I think I was getting them in between about 2.5 to about 8 feet of water. mostly on an American Snakehead custom spinnerbait. That I think would have been a great area to find those snakehead using electronics, because I think, and again, here I go off one of my thoughts, right? Down on the Rap, ton of bow pressure. Because I mean, you're down there with those Virginia boys, and you got a lot of guys down there in Virginia who love to hunt and love to use a bow, and they get shot to heck in those really shallow creeks. And I think what's happening is that over time, those fish that are genetically predisposed to hang out more in the shallowest water are getting shot the heck up. And those snakehead that are genetically predisposed to maybe relate to a little bit deeper water, deeper such that it's out of bow fishing range, are successfully reproducing and surviving more. So those points and kind of drop offs and ledges and secondary channels down there, I think I'd be a great place to apply forward facing sonar or side scan or something like that.
And speaking of that, hold on. Let's see if I can get it to come up.
Mike said paging Tommy Tech. Hey, where you at, Tommy? Come educate us as the guru of the tech.
So just while Steve was talking about the VKE tournament,
Mm-hmm.
it's down in Virginia, the other Snakehead Trail. Show love to Giuseppe Mustick, Elmer, Joel, the old man. So if you want to fish another tournament and you're really serious about fishing ours and theirs, there you go. You can sign up. You find that on there. And
as long as they don't take us back to Pohig.
Yeah. And then here you go. You're not going to see, well, you see I'm the veteran, so there you go. That's how it looks.
See, Tommy said he's here. He's just listening and working.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to show you.
Rashawn, got a question for you.
Who was that?
How long were you working on the Master Angler Award?
I don't know. Since 2019, forever.
Yep.
Who asked me that question?
That was China Argus, man.
Oh, a long time.
Yep.
I mean, I think. I'll give you a rundown of the last fish. So I didn't want to. So Steve likes to catch little fish like crappie and little crappie and
Cambo trout. I grew up being an ultralight fisherman, man.
No, so we were gonna. I had an option to go one place or go to another place, and we went and walked 10,000 miles. Tight Lines 302 was with us. He's not on here today. I think what after the fifth cast, I got slammed by the first time he hit it, and I didn't really realize it. And then he got off, and then I threw again, and he hooked up with it, and then he rolled and got off. And then on the last cast, like I threw at a different location. I guess he moved from there. He nailed it. And I got him in. Honestly, I think it was just my destiny at that moment to catch that fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, because I can't even tell you. I lost that fish like 3 times twice before I even got it. So, and then when I pulled him in, good thing the water was higher because I pulled him in right on the bank and he got off, but he ain't go anywhere. And I measured him, got him back in the water. He swam off healthy. He have beautiful colors. So
I'll give you a quick spring tip that helped us. Well, that was a pickerel, Mike, and they are, I mean, dumb and they're aggressive. They're just aggressive. That's an aggressive fish. Like I never, there's no other fish that I catch more aside from maybe a blue cat where I find other people's rigs in their mouth than pickerel. Like I've caught so many pickerel where like I find perch jigs, other lures like in their mouth, and they're still out there chewing and attacking. But a quick spring tip for you. Along some of our river systems around here, like the Patuxent, some of the eastern shore ones like the Nanticoke, and there's a few others out there. What they have is what I would probably call an overflow pond. Right? I think we have these on the Patapsco too, come to think of it. And what happens during high water events during the spring is that some of these like overflow ponds are not always connected to the main river. But when you have a good amount of rain, they become connected. And that's when a lot of species will move from the main river into those overflow ponds. And if you can time it just right, you can find those fish absolutely stacked in there. Like I don't fully understand it. I guess they're part of it are trying like an instinct to explore new water. Maybe they're following that freshwater flow. Maybe they're following bait for all I know. But those overflow ponds in the spring, when we have a lot of rain and the water's nice and high, they're a great place to try out when those ponds fill up, because the fish seem to really move into them when they haven't been connected in a long time.
So, yeah, I remember when we was fishing down there, they said they caught a lot of pickerel on the main stem of the river. So, yeah.
Rashawn, what design elements do you look for in a chandelier?
He knows his house is old and we got to redo it. He knows that chandelier is probably older than me and him and you put together. It'll be different, hopefully one day. I do want to say thanks to Tommy for help set it up, all the stuff for the Fishing Chaos. So y'all need to thank him. He put a lot of. I ain't gonna lie to you. When Steve is asleep or somewhere, me and Tommy be on the phone planning stuff for 2, 3, 4 hours, trying to make sure stuff is good for everybody. We've had a lot of time and talking about trying to make sure stuff is perfect. So hopefully everything comes back. Hey, going back, cutting the edge on retro lighting. Adams Coast. Oh. So shout out to Tommy for all the help, and he said sleep is overrated. So yeah, when I got off the phone with you the other day, Steve, I said I'm gonna call Tommy. I think you were doing something with your daughter. Me and Tommy talked about almost 2.5 hours trying to plan tournaments. So what's Brandon talking about?
All coming back. I don't know.
I'm trying to find a good question that somebody's gonna ask, like, so I can don't. Yeah, look.
Well, we've been on here for over an hour now. I'm probably. If you have any more questions, get them in, because I got to dive off here probably about I don't know 5, maybe 10 minutes, y'all.
The street lights came on. He got to go. Now that's what.
Scary around here. See anything else that I want to hit? I don't know. I think I'll probably give CCA one more shout out. Rashawn, Tommy, and I, we actually donated a trip for a fundraiser for CCA Maryland this year. CCA, Coastal Conservation Association. They have chapters throughout Maryland and Virginia, and they're a huge advocate not only for recreational fishermen, but for effective management of the fish that we love to chase. So it's like when other people are making arguments that a lot of us would call maybe self-centered, CCA is out there speaking for the science and trying to make sure that recreational fishermen are looked out for. Because we as recreational fishermen, we don't always have a concerted voice. Charter captains will, commercial fishermen will, because they're all big lobbying groups. But recreational fishermen, not so much. Even though we bring a lot of business and a lot of economic motion to the state, we usually don't have a concerted voice. And CCA is one way to do that. So I like to give them a shout out and let everybody know they're out there.
So, hey, Adam, to answer your question, that springtime, that's the crawfish color. I think that's one of the biggest things about the red, and that orange is red, because I noticed that. I mean, I can only even in any other time that red is fire, because if there's crawfish in that area, yeah.
China Argus knows all about that, man.
Yeah.
That China Argus was tearing the bass up on a crawfish colored chatterbait.
Hey, some people use spinning. Why he said, why do some people use spinning reels upside down? I don't know, because they don't know. Remember that day we were fishing with Tommy, and they were fishing, and they were on the boat, and they were like this. He was like,
"Oh yeah."
I was like, "What? Who fish? How?"
I can't, man.
I don't know.
Like the reeling. And don't get me wrong. If you've never been taught anything about fishing before in your life, you can make that mistake, man. But it's as a fisherman, you look at it and you're just like, holy shit. Adam was talking about choosing colors for different water stains.
Hold on, let me get to that.
Yep.
So Jason Nestor said, what we use for snakeheads in deeper water. So without Alaska, All right, so square bill,
Yeah.
American Snakehead Custom spinnerbait,
Yep.
chatterbait. Boy, I'm I, any brand that's out there that makes an inline spinner and some secret one that's coming up. I'm not gonna mention no names. Uh, that's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, I mean, you could get them on a jerk bait because I know Kevin.
You said chatterbait, right?
Yeah, I said chatterbait.
Okay. Okay.
You got it. So we got a square bill, a jerk bait because I seen Kevin catch him at Key Wallace on a jerk bait.
I got one.
What?
Drop shot.
Oh yeah, I caught one on drop shot. That's fucking.
Mm-hmm.
It's what else is there? The curly tail.
Mm-hmm.
Man, anything that's like maybe like 2 to 3 feet max. If you have that, if you able to do that, they'll come up and get it. The maps,
Sure will.
definitely the maps all day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Ned rig, yeah. Ned rig will get them too. 100%.
So Adam,
like jigs, man. Yeah, we didn't even touch on jigs, I don't think.
Yeah, jigs. Oh, so jigs with the crawfish pattern is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the red and that orange stuff from. And now we're gonna go into colors. And this is now some of these colors are not just for snakehead because it works fishing for them for bass. It's the same thing. So when Adam's asking about color stained water, I like black and blue.
Yeah.
Or like a really bright or chartreuse with a gold blade. Some reason gold blade works really good at stained water. I mean, that's my opinion, but
I mean, there's some good videos out there on this topic. I saw someone share a chart actually earlier this week. The one thing that I don't understand well enough that I want to look into is seeing what science has been done on different fish species to see what colors they can actually see. Because, based on the different rods and cones that you have within your eye, determines, what colors you can actually perceive. And that applies to any animal out there. And I think most fish have similar capabilities in what colors they can perceive. But I know from from way back when watching Bill dance, darker stained waters, black and dark colors tend to show up best. They tend to be able to be viewed the best from farther distance, and that farther distance expands the strike zone of the fish.
Yeah. Devin Michael asked, if you're using an SLX baitcaster, what would you buy next? So I'm gonna tell you, if you already got an SLX baitcaster, I would just go ahead and get upgrade the drag and the bearings on it, and then you save your money and you don't have to buy it. But if you didn't want to do that, I would recommend the Mega Jaws Elite line Cast King because I love that thing. Actually, any of them. Steve got the. I gave Steve one of the cheaper reels and he was nailing fish on it. So
I've been using the Centron Light Baitcaster from sold by Cast King for the past year and a half. I haven't serviced that thing once, and it's still as smooth as the first day I started using it. And I mean, for the money, I don't know if you can beat it. What's a Centron Light retail for? I haven't checked the price in a while.
I think it was like it was. Well, I got it for. I can't really tell you, but yeah, it got. Yeah, I got it really good. And this Spartacus reel is really nice too. I actually got it for one of my camouflage rods for my veterans rods. And before we get off, I want to do one thing, so I want to make sure. But I'll tell y'all before we get off. So I mean, if that's what you're looking for, something like that would work. I actually like the Mega Jaws Elite, the shallow spool. It flies. It's got. To be honest, you won't even have to buy it. If you get it right, you won't even have to buy a DC because that automatic braking system, the AMB, man, I love it. Keeps you from backlashing. So
Big Yacker asked, what's the deepest that we've caught snakehead? I think the deepest that I've caught snakehead is right around 8 feet. I'm sure guys have caught him deeper. I think Jason said earlier he's caught him in 8 to 10. A lot of that is shaped. I mean, snakehead, to my knowledge and what I've been able to see, they still prefer shallowish water. But, what we catch is determined by actually what we try, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're always trying shallow and we're never trying deep, you let me know. Like, y'all out there, let me know how deep you catch them. Because if you're not trying, that deeper water, then who the heck knows what's down there and what we could, maybe do with it. Because that science is still it's pretty young, man.
Well, I wouldn't, if they're catching giant snakehead in deep water too. So you know what
That's
I'm saying?
true.
Yeah,
That's true. I feel like
so
that's got to be like the most pelagic snakehead out there. That
yeah.
they seem to move a lot.
Hold on, I'll give you an answer because he wants to ask. He asked me for that thing, and then I know we'll give 5 more minutes and we'll cut it off, pick the
Mhm.
winner. But I
Yep.
want to show this since it's on. Hold on, where are you? Ah, man, don't show me this again. I don't care about that. Window, share. I love
Adam,
this. I love
enough
this
talk for
reel.
tonight.
This right here is my favorite reel. I caught a cow on this reel, and Tommy has the this. I have this shallow spool flies. I ain't gonna lie to you, but Tommy was using this one for jigging. Has a flipping switch on it, so if you're flipping and you're pitching, like if you're floating the bank, you can flip it with your curly tail, whatever you're throwing. I actually love it, man. It's got phenomenal stuff, and I haven't had any problems with it, so I don't think it got the drag on it. Let's see. It's 17, I think.
Yeah, 17 is good.
Yeah, it's 17 pounds of drag. So,
All
but
right,
anyway,
brother. You want to pick the question?
yeah, you picked the question. I don't freaking know, man.
There's a lot of questions. Let me think back. Who had the best question? So we had the questions about how deep have we caught them. We had questions about how long do they hang out on the mud flats before they do the spring push. Questions about color. Some questions about water temp. Questions about drag, reel size.
Who was that though?
Oh, we'll have to scroll back up. There's no way. I haven't been keeping track. You giving away prizes, man.
I know, but I was looking, and it's like so much stuff was flying. I couldn't keep
It's
it
been
track of
scrolling,
it.
bro. It's been scrolling. That's good stuff. Oh, and questions. Yeah, questions about nipples. Don't leave out the nipples, bro.
That don't count. He can't win. He's not allowed to win. I mean the I don't know, man. Hold on, I'm looking to see. I can't tell you the question because some of the people that I've seen, their names is not popping up, so I don't know who's who.
I can't even scroll up to the top. There's been too many.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think what my favorite was, man. If I had to pick one question. Damn, it's tough, man. We should have been keeping better track of this for a giveaway.
No, I was, but I can't see whose name is some of them because they didn't allow. It's not showing up.
Well, what's the question you have on mind? We can put it in the chat and see if somebody remembers who it was.
Oh no! While you're doing that, you can talk about that. I'll find it.
Oh, okay, sure. You guys about the bow fishing effects on snakehead? Yes, we can. And I've heard, and I haven't read it yet myself, but I've heard that they're relaxing bow fishing regulations at the same time they're rebranding the Chesapeake Chana. And I don't know the specifics of that yet, so I need to read up on it. Bow fishing for snakehead. Let me give the most charitable summary first. It's possible, and I think we have to accept this. You don't have to. You don't have to do crap. I'm just telling you I'll speak for myself. I have to accept the possibility that bow fishing is controlling snakehead numbers to the point where they're, snakehead in most waters don't seem to be having a very detrimental effect. Okay. I accept that possibility. That being said, one of the reasons that last year was a very tough year for snakehead is that we had a really warm January, a really warm February, and then March, April, May was probably some of the coldest March, weather that I've ever experienced. And what it did, it kept the water cold, it kept the water cloudy, and as a result, the submerged aquatic vegetation never really grew up. And so the snakeheads just got shot to hell because they couldn't hide in the grass at that point. They couldn't hide in structure. And they went just buck wild shooting snakehead. The effects of bow fishing on snakehead, they can clear out a cove overnight. Doesn't mean more snakehead won't move in to colonize that area, okay? But they can effectively clear out a cove overnight. Guys who used to fish Mattawoman back in the day, before it became well known, know that Mattawoman used to be a snakehead mecca. Like back in like around 2011, 2012, so it was a combination of factors. You had the peak of the invasion phase, which happens with any invasive species or introduced species. They come up and they ramp up to like their maximum level and they come down. And then what usually happens with most species is they get closer and closer to an equilibrium level. They find that level where there's enough food to support them, but they're not eating too much of it. They're not decimating any prey species, and then it starts to even out. But point being, the Mattawoman of 2011, 2012 is far away and above what Mattawoman is now for snakehead fishing. And part of that is because around 2012, 2013, Mattawoman at nighttime started looking like a series of baseball diamonds. That's how many bow fishing boats were out there. So bow fishing, without a doubt, drives down the numbers of snakehead in any given body of water. But if you talk to bow fishermen, and there's some bow fishermen out there that I talk to that I trust, they'll say like, you have no idea how many are out here. Like we're hardly, taking any out. I don't accept that entirely, but I do accept that when you're out there with a spotlight at night, you're going to see more fish than I will just casting a lure. Got it. Understood. But bow fishing is a possibility. It's helping prevent a lot of impact from snakehead. It does drive down the population of snakehead. Me personally, what I would like to see is a creel limit put on bow boats. I don't want to. I'm a personal freedom guy. I don't want to tell anybody out there you can't go bow fishing. I would just like to see creel limits so we can manage snakehead as a resource instead of as a nuisance or invasive species. So hopefully that kind of answers your question for bow fishing from where I'm coming from.
Can you see who this question was? Since it's a real question, I might as well give a real.
No, it shows up as a Facebook user to me.
Oh, well, yeah. Yep. Yeah, sorry, that was a good question.
Yeah, it is.
To be honest, so
Adam said the system is rigged because the nipple questions have been thrown out.
I mean, the temperature. I mean, the deeper water question was a good one.
Yeah.
But I can't see who it is. Can you see it? Because you're on your phone. I can't see it.
For which one?
The deeper water.
Like the deepest one that they've been caught in?
Yeah, or
that was the deepest one. The question about how deep have we caught them? That was Big Yacker. That one I remember.
All right, well, I will go with that one.
All right, Big Yacker, congrats, man.
Yeah, send me a message. I'll be doing more. For you guys to really, hold on. Sorry. For you guys to really get this, you got to let StreamYard get access to your Facebook or whatever, so we can see because I can't see your questions, and I would like, even though we had fun and we were all picking with each other and stuff like that, when it gets down to the serious part, I can't see who it is, and there was a lot of other good questions that was in there. So again, just make sure StreamYard you allow access. StreamYard forward. Oh, well, I'll show you real quick. Mm-hmm. That's it right here. StreamYard. Brandon helped me get it together last time because I couldn't see him, so we got it fixed, and that's how it works. So Big Yacker hit me up, send me a message. Now, I do want to take a moment of silence for the guys, all the first responders and veterans that have passed with us, cannot fish, or we'll just say pass in general, that can't be here to give their lives for the sacrifice. So I would like to take a minute and honor those who cannot fish with us. And I will be doing that after every episode, because that's actually kind of a big thing. I have a lot of good friends that I've lost because, the war. So I'm going to take my hat off and moment of silence for us.
Okay, Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, Rashawn.
Yeah.
Big Yacker would like to donate that reel to Scott Steers of Lucky and Blessed Fishing.
Bam. That even
All right.
better. I'll hit
All right.
Scott. So that being said, like I said, we're gonna recognize, try to do more stuff for the vets and stuff for the community. I was there with Scott Steers because a lot of, and I try to do more with him when I know, especially with Heroes on the Water and TFO. If they tell us, because I see stuff pop up and it's like, yeah. So,
Hit us up.
you got anything else, Steve, before we end this?
I'll throw it out there. A few comments out there reminded me of a couple things with bow fishing real quick. If you're going to bow fish, it's nice to see folks that actually use what they kill instead of just dumping a bunch of dead fish up on the shore and stacking it up. I've seen it done with carp. I've seen it done with snakehead. It's a real waste and a real shame. There's also some problems with them tearing up underwater vegetation as they just kind of grind through it. So again, if it's done responsibly, creel limit, I'm okay with it, man. It's an ancient form of, fishing, bow fishing. It really is. Although it's, it didn't used to be done with spotlights and stuff like that. So, but anyway, just throw a few of those points out there because I saw y'all make the comments.
Yeah, it was done with candles and torches. So let somebody do that. So that being said, thank you guys for coming back and making this a good live.
Yeah.
We plan on doing it again. So when we do the other one, I would suggest for you to bring your own. It's going to be crafts time. We're going to be doing the Bangkok hook or not, and we'll just go over that. Probably won't really go into much else because we'll do the Bangkok hook or not a couple times so you know how to do it, and that'll be it. And do another giveaway. Mm-hmm. So,
all right.
You got anything else, Steve?
No, man. I'm gonna go find a throat lozenge.
Yeah.
Try to not be sick, man.
All right. Well, see y'all.
All right, y'all.